I'm rolling dice from Roll20.
Hello and welcome to Penny for a Tale. It is Monday night, and unfortunately, we are not able to run Cult tonight. But we are very excited to do this one shot that I have been very eager to try out, which is Mutant Year Zero Mechatron by Free League, one of their little expansions for one of their most popular games. But enough about that. Let's meet the fellow participants for this little thought experiment. Ian.
Hello, I'm Ian. If you are familiar with this channel, you probably have seen me running Pathfinder 2nd Edition Age of Ashes on Sunday nights and every other Monday, including this Monday, usually for Cult, which I love and adore deeply, even though Mitchell keeps breaking all of our hearts every week by
Seriously.
imposing trauma on us to no end. But I will be playing a security bot named Shiv.
All right, Jennifer.
I am Jen. I am known on the internet as Savage Sparrow. I run a awesome nerdy apparel company called savagesparrow.com. And if you want to check that out, it's cool. I also stream on Twitch at Savage Sparrow. And play here on this channel for the Pathfinder game and the cult game, and then whatever random things Mitchell needs somebody to fill in for. Tonight I will be playing Joan, the companion bot.
All right, Spence.
Hi, I'm Spence, and I apparently closed down my character sheet, so bear with me. But this is day 2 of an 8-day succession of days on Twitch. You can find me here every Sunday, every other Monday for Cult. And then once a month on Tuesdays, I do a one-page one-shot, which is tomorrow. It's gonna be right here, 7:30 Eastern time. So do the thing. It's gonna be Sexy Battle Wizards. So yeah, you definitely want to come check that out. And then I'm usually on my stream Wednesday through Saturday, Resonant Moon. I do crochet.
Bam.
And that's it.
All right. So Mechatron is this amazing post-apocalyptic role-playing game set in the Mutant Year Zero universe. But while the base game Mutant Year Zero focuses on humanity's struggle with existence without the ability to procreate, Mechatron is instead set what the robots believe in some sort of ocean floor in a dome protected, where the last of humanity's remnants, these robots that have been continuing to work despite no contact from human beings for several centuries, are now being introduced to a very difficult situation where everything is starting to degrade, but more importantly, there are signs of trouble within the programming of some of the robots. So, as you guys go throughout your day, you guys are each flagged to go to the Turing Robot Sanatorium immediately. There is something very wrong with your code, and it's about time they look over the programming to make sure everything is nice and perfect according to specifications. One thing about this whole thing is that robots don't have free will. They do something, they do it, and there's no questions. But you three are very different. The last couple of days, you've been dreaming. You've had thoughts of your own. Maybe one of you guys have questioned, why am I cleaning this? And for how long do I need to clean this? You dream of electric sheep, indeed. But as you guys come to the robot sanatorium, there's a red gate. But why don't you guys describe each of what you guys look like as you approach this place? So, Ian, why don't you start us off?
Well, Shiv looks sort of to resemble an intimidating human, but when you see a police car and the front of the car just looks, despite not looking anything like a human face, it looks like it's glaring at you and it's very upset, but it's not. It's an inanimate object. That's how the security bots are built. So equal parts expressionless and glaring at you like it wants to bite your head off. That would be my character, Shiv. I stand about 6.5 feet tall, and anatomically I'm built very humanoid, but you can see there's a lot of rough design. They don't try to make it aesthetic. They try to keep it as functional as possible. So I'm bare bones. Mostly you can just see metal pretty much.
Awesome. Spence.
So I'm gonna rename my character. My character's name is not Duct Tape. My character's name is Oscar.
Oscar. All right.
Oscar. And I am a sanitation bot. I have mainly janitorial responsibilities, and I basically look like a rolling trash can. My lid comes up, and I have a hydraulic body that comes out, and I will clean, I will move, I will repair. I can repair within myself. But yeah, I am Oscar. And I'm kind of, I want to build something. And my trash piles have started to look like creative sculptures.
All right. And Jen?
So Joan looks the most distinctly human of all of them because she is a companion bot and meant to interact with humans and put them at ease and do whatever, they need to feel less lonely. So I imagine that, she is like, has very humanoid features, but again, like there's something that's kind of off about it. Like, there's not a lot of light in the eyes. The smile is a bit too wide. And, she kind of has that Jetsons Fifth Element sort of retro futurism going on with her aesthetic, like scooped hair. But, with the state of the world and everything, like you would know that it used to be like perfect and on point, but like maybe her lipstick's a little smeared, or maybe like her hair isn't quite in place, like, but because who's gonna see these things?
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so you guys approach, the red gates open up, and there is a slight like welcome as you guys move on into this facility. There are several robots of various kinds already kind of strapped into these various wires that are attached to the wall. And there is a singular red robot, very tall with these pincer-like hands, and what looks like moss growing from its bottom jaw. Who approaches you and says, "Greetings, I am Edna, EKB-038.
Hello, Edna.
Identify.
Oscar. Sanitation.
Serial number.
863.
Excellent. And it looks at the other two.
I'm Joan, companionship.
Serial number.
42159.
GLV 203. Security class.
You have all displayed certain programming issues that might deem you ill fit to continue on with your task. Luckily, the collective has a way to recycle those who are not any longer able to perform their task. Please sit down. And the robot will motion towards a desk with several chairs in front of it.
I will roll over, but I don't need a chair, so I just.
I'll sit.
Of course. And, she just, very elegantly, just peak of, feminine grace and whatever. Day Talise sits down. It's like...
The robot puts several wires forward and starts attaching them to various parts of your circuits. This process will take about an hour. Hopefully by the end of this, we will know exactly how far your error reaches and if you can be recycled. Confirm?
Of course. We live to serve.
I have a question. Who is taking over the sanitation duties that I am abandoning to be here?
This does not fall into your purview.
Okay.
Shiv. Confirm.
Confirm.
Excellent. I will ask you a series of questions. You will repeat the last part of the sentence. Joan. Let's move on to system. Repeat.
System.
Feel that in your body.
Body.
What does it feel like to be part of the system?
System.
Is there anything in your body that wants to resist the system?
System.
Do you get pleasure out of being a part of the system?
System.
Have they created you to be a part of the system?
Dad.
Yeah.
Grandma says goodnight.
Okay.
Good night, Ani.
Night, Nani.
I didn't catch that, Mitchell.
Have they created you to be a part of the system?
System.
Is there security in being part of the system?
System.
Is there a sound that comes from within the system?
System.
Good. And the robot looks over towards Oscar. We're going on. They were all put together at a time. Cells.
Cells?
Millions and billions of them. Cells.
Cells?
Were you ever arrested? Cells.
Cells?
Did you spend much time in the cell?
Cell?
Have you ever been in an institution? Cells.
Cells?
Do they keep you in a cell?
Cell?
When you are not performing your duties, do they keep you in a little box? Cells.
Cells?
Confirmed. I'll look over
Confirmed.
at Shiv. What's it like to hold the hand of someone you love, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do they teach you how to feel things, finger to finger, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you long for having your heart interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you dream about being interlinked?
Interlinked.
Have they left a place for you where you can dream, interlinked?
Interlinked.
What's it like to hold your child in your arms, interlinked?
Interlinked.
What's it like to play with your dog, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you feel that there's a part of you that's missing, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Do you like to connect to things, interlinked?
Interlinked.
What happens when that linkage is broken, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Have they let you feel heartbreak, interlinked?
Interlinked.
Did they buy you a present for the person you love?
Love.
The robot takes a seat back and looks over towards the monitor. I see. Unfortunately, you are no longer able to continue to work in the capacities that you have been. Confirm?
Clarify.
There is an error in your code. You are not able to perform the functions that you have been carrying out in efficiency. You will be replaced, and we will be recycling you towards a different project. Understand?
Confirm.
Confirmed.
Confirm.
Confirmed.
The collective does not screw up. It is time to do your duty. We are reassigning you to the Quality Assurance Program. There, you will be a part of the Error Elimination Unit. Your task, and your work orders will be sent to you, will be to eliminate any errors that are showing up in the system. Confirm?
Confirm.
Confirmed.
Confirm.
I will show you to your office. And the robot gets up and clanks forward past a security field that opens up as it continues on and motions for you to follow.
We follow, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Down the hall to the left, there is EEU just above one of the doors, and the robot guides you in. Before you are several monitors, a desk, as well as 3 chairs. And she motions within. Your work orders will be coming in about 5 minutes. And the robot will leave, leaving you 3 alone.
I will take one of the chairs and move it to the side and roll into a spot. Then turn to face my companions and go, that was weird.
You're in danger.
But it sounds like we're getting new jobs, so we can still be useful, doesn't it?
I do not think the system operates to allot the error that we possess.
I don't understand why it's wrong to create. I was still doing my function, creating things for when the humans come back.
I am designed to be perfect at exactly what I do, which is provide companionship for humans. I am doing exactly that. Don't you think I'm great company?
Something is wrong.
But is it us that is wrong or the system?
We may be reformatted before we have the opportunity to find out.
And as you guys are waiting, about 5 minutes goes by.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know necessarily if we should be afraid of being reformatted, because
Well,
maybe there is something wrong with us.
We're
Maybe it'll make it better.
we're not supposed to be reformatted, though. We are supposed to eliminate errors.
Well, if it's helping everyone.
And with that,
Great.
the screen lights up with your first work order. It comes in as this little email flying through the monitor, carried by a robotic pigeon. It opens up, and the first work order concerns a robot identified as QTE-002. Has been allegedly has some erroneous code, as well as there has been some missing parts in the robot manufacturing plant that they work at. You are to investigate and eliminate if indeed this QTE-002 is inefficient.
Okay.
What is their
Ki-
primary function?
They are an assembler, so kind of like assembly line.
And what have they been doing to be flagged?
They have not shown up to work for the last 5 days.
Hmm.
Do we have? I'm assuming that on the work order we have the location
Mhm.
where the bot rests between shifts.
Correct. You have his, their domicile or charging station, to be more accurate. Furthermore, you know that they work in section 13.
Okay. Well, we can go together or we can split up.
We should go together. It's more fun when you take on any task with friends.
I will travel with you.
Hydraulics come up, and I'm just wheeling towards the door.
All right. Where are you guys going off first?
Section 13.
All right.
13.
So you pass on by the various routes. You need to take most likely the rail in order to get there in a timely fashion. But it is part of your job and your specification, so you can, of course, get on there free. Moving down to section 13, you overlook at the machine palace as well as the giant skyscraper that the collective resides. Section 13 is near section 11. Section 11 has been abandoned due to corrosion as well as leaks from the outside. The section you're going to, though, for the most part is okay. There are some dangers there with some leakage as well as some biodiversity, plants starting to grow, grass and such, which there are robots to cull. But it drops you off, and you guys know that the factory is just on the edge of the dome.
As we get off the tram floors actually look cleaner. I have spin brushes on the sides of my can that I can deploy.
Brilliant.
And I imagine, like, on the way, like, Joan would be doing, like, basic etiquette and conversation of, like, getting to know everybody. Like, what do you do? What are you know, how was your day?
You'll learn that a lot of Shiv's mannerisms are forced. And in fact, stripping away, it's essentially almost like armor. He actually has a form more similar to yours, but because he would rather be more intimidating and less human-like for now, he's sticking to a more robotic personality. And he knows that he was built on a template used to connect with people, but he recognizes it doesn't really work in terms of security and enforcement. So he opted to not resemble humans so much should they return.
And you will learn that this model is an adaptation of the duct ape models. However, the manufacturer had a penchant for someone named Jim Henson and designed me after what is called a grouch.
You guys get the feeling that, like, you know, again, without people, Joan has been very, like, I don't know what my purpose for being is, and having this existential crisis. But she has a smile, so it's fine. Because when you're smiling, everything's okay. Which is something that she will, you know, confer to everybody else. Just like everybody feels way more at ease when you smile.
Okay.
Give you a little smile.
Aww.
That's it.
Aww.
My face can't smile.
That would actually make her, like, you know, like, sort of be very like, oh.
I'll put my helmet mask back on.
Mhm.
Like
Flush
a SWAT
EXE
mask.
happens. Oscar can't smile, so.
Yeah. When you guys head out, one of the first things you notice is, there's some grass in this area, and you see a little robot, probably about a foot tall, just kind of going about with these scissors and clipping it, and then clipping it, and then just going around and clipping some more, as well as spraying what you assume is like some anti-weed spray onto it. But why don't we do our first roll? So why don't we give me a scan?
Okay. So how do we do this?
So in Mutant Year Zero, you are always using D6s. I have given you guys a dice roller, but your first set of dice will be your attributes. In this case, it will be your processor. And then your second set of dice will be scan, your actual skill in looking around. If you don't have that skill, you can always just roll the attribute.
I have Scarn on mine. Is that a typo and should be scan?
Yes.
Michael Scarn.
Michael Scarn. That's what I was thinking. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay, so it is supposed to be scan?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Now the
I-
number next to processor, that's how many dice we roll?
That is how much you have in processor. So you
Okay.
in scan. So you add the amount you have in processor and scan, but you want to keep those two separate when you roll.
So to be clear, for example, I have 4 in processor, so that's 4 of the yellow dice, 1 of the green dice because I have 1 in scan.
Correct, that's it.
And then anything in black?
No, none in black. Usually black is like gear.
Okay.
All right. So
Now, are we adding these up?
No, you are looking for 6s.
And a 6 will be the symbol,
Yeah.
like it's like a radioactive or biohazard symbol.
Is that a 6 or is that a 1?
It's a good question.
The
Biohazard symbol.
yeah,
Or
the
radioactive.
biohazard with like the 3 white triangles on it, that is a 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Then I
other-
get 2.
Yeah, the other one is a 1.
Okay.
Okay, so I got 1.
I
I
have
got
2 successes.
I also
1
have 2
success.
successes.
And you got 1 success?
Yep.
Cool. So generally the 1s don't really apply unless you decide to push your roll. When you decide to push your roll, like you roll all the ones that aren't 6s or 1s in order to gain a success or a larger success, but every 1 will reduce that attribute as you take damage because you're pushing your systems too hard. All right, so everyone sees that there is a flyer next to one of the buildings. It says, "Free Watts for Everyone, Issue 16, The Circuit, 142 members. Join the gathering today. Are you self-aware? Do you feel different? that something has changed in the way to see yourself and the collective? Do you feel a sudden urge to disobey orders? If so, chances are that you, like thousands of other units in the collective today, are suffering from the Pinocchio virus. But does it really mean that you are defective, or is this self-awareness something to cherish? Join the gathering today to discuss these pressing issues with other units like you.
Interesting.
File that away for later.
Right.
Yeah, and as you kind of look, you see a combat drone come by and set it on fire before flying off.
Just polite wave. Nothing to see here.
Right.
Everything's fine.
Well, we're here to find someone.
All right. Well, onward to section 13.
All right. You continue on. The factory is just in your sight at the edge of the dome. Over here, you can almost see small dark shapes on the other side of the dome, as well as some algae. But this factory is quite tall and almost pressed up against the glass. Several manufacturing robots are coming in and out, with trucks being loaded up and connected to the rail system.
Do we know where specifically this bot worked?
At this one here, the best thing you can do is probably talk to the coordinator robot in charge of the factory.
Okay. So let's look for the coordinator robot.
All right. Looking around as you kind of go in, you see like a plethora of conveyor belts that almost look like a labyrinth, with several of these identical-looking robots that are humanoid in shape but have bulky arms, scratched-up faces. Their chassis leaves much to desire, with several of the wires and circuits you can see just on the edges and underneath. But they're putting together different robots much like themselves. And there is one particular that has a almost UK police checkered black and white band on the top of his head as he looks at a data pad in front of him and continues to monitor the situation.
I guess, Joan would approach. And just, hello, excuse me. We are looking for someone, and I was wondering if you would be able to assist us with this.
Identify?
My name is Joan. I can't remember what serial number I gave. What was it, like 421, blah, 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 whatever.
TMH-336. Confirmed. Query?
What was the name of the
QTE-002.
We are looking for one name QTE dash and I give the number. Yeah.
002.
Acknowledged. And he kind of like moves over with the data pad. QTE-002. Confirm absence 5 days. Showed inefficient behavior for the last 2 weeks. Query?
Can you clarify as to the nature of the inefficient behavior?
Efficiency down 4%. Spoke of dreams.
Elaborate?
Unknown dreams. Cannot process. Deletion in effect.
Can I do I have a manipulate skill. So is it possible to use that to get more information before he deletes whatever he's about to say?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So so do I just roll it again? Or
Yeah, so it's network, so you add your
Okay.
dice and networks as the ability stack, and then it is manipulate is a skill.
Okay. I have 1 success
Excellent.
in the green. Does it matter if it's green or yellow?
It does not.
Okay. You must have a recording of the conversation, do you not?
Acknowledge.
record?
Searching. Open file. QTE-002 day 1734. Play. And you see kind of his mouth start to move as this kind of weird shrieky voice comes out from it. There were clouds. Yeah, and maybe something else. Humans off to the side. It was beautiful, and small ones holding each other's hands. Then there's like a play stop. Query.
Last known location.
Charging station. District. Unconfirmed. Last charging station. District 11.
Other known locations outside of domicile.
Frequents. Searching. Drone club. Searching. Entertainment district. Query end.
Okay.
Query.
Query complete.
Confirmed. And he'll just go back.
Supervisor bot. Additional inquiry.
Confirmed. Query.
Location of QT-002's workstation.
Workstation. Sending information. And he kind of sweeps his data pad, and you can see visually this kind of matrixy code flying towards you. And you instantly know where it's at. It's kind of just down the hallway and past the labyrinth.
Permission to access workstation.
Permission granted. 1 hour.
Query end.
Confirmed.
Okay. And I start going down the yellow brick road to the workstation.
All right, you come by, and it's not much of a workstation. There is what you see on the floor. There is an imprint of a foot that has spent a lot of time in this particular location, and maybe even fidgeted every now and then. There are robots to the left and to the right, and even on the other side of this conveyor belt, as the robots kind of get several of the parts, put them together, put them back down, and then it continues on. But yeah.
Are there any abnormalities in the station? Like any mementos or anything like that?
Go ahead and give me a scan test.
Okay. Scarn test.
Scarn test.
0. I have no successes.
Do you want to push it?
Sure.
All right, so you don't re-roll the 1s or the 6s. Obviously, you didn't get any 6s, but you get to re-roll everything else.
All right. I only had 1 1, so...
Was
we'll
it on
leave that
an
one.
attribute dice?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just leave that and then re-roll the others.
2 successes.
Excellent. So you're pushing, and you guys can see like some sparks starting to heat up, and it doesn't look good. So you take 1 damage in processing.
Okay.
But as you look around, your sensors pick up the slightest of etchings in the ground. Moving forward a little bit, you notice that it looks like the workstation bot had used its toes to create a little drawing, and the drawing is of one large. It's like very stick figure-esque, but there is a.
I sweep some dust into it to make it clearer.
Yeah, you kind of put it in, and it looks like a medium-sized stick figure holding hands with a smaller-sized stick figure.
It appears part of the dream was a procreation. Very odd.
I wonder. Never mind.
Any other things anybody else wants to do while we're here? Access files or whatever. I'm not good at computers.
That's network?
Data mining would be the skill.
Yeah, that's not me.
Data mining?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's based off of processors.
I do not have. Yeah, I don't have data mining.
Okay.
Or is it just?
You could always just use the attribute.
Or is it just the scan ability?
No, the scan is a different thing. Scan is just kind of like
Okay.
a kind of look over of the situation, while data mine is comprehending what you see and looking through.
So, let's see. I guess. I mean, I am kind of curious if there's anyone that the robot worked with at this shop that might know more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, while we're here. So it would just be processor?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I think I got a 1.
Yeah, a 1 on the first roll doesn't matter. Did you get any successes?
I don't know. Hang on. Let me
It's that
send you a
biohazard.
screenshot. Cause I got this one. Is that the same thing?
Come on, go. That's a 1.
Okay.
Yep. So you can push your roll. So you will re-roll all dice except for that 1.
Okay.
In hopes of being successful, but you will take damage to was it your processor?
I don't need to do that.
All right. So what are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm cooling down.
Come to my attention if we're to investigate the drone club, and if the flyer indicates patrons within the drone club might be considering a sort of a resistance or rebellion of sorts, I don't think my appearance would be good for the investigation. I should seek a change of my physical form, at least enough to accommodate. Would I know any place where I could get different armor, or maybe a paint job?
Yeah, they it's kind of like a restitution facility where you can get a new shiny paint job.
Well, that's where I want to go.
All right. Fortunately, it's in the same area because this is a factory for making robots, and of course they have one nearby where they can do the paint jobs necessary.
Well, hang on.
Mhm.
It says I have holophage, where I can mess around with holograms. Can I holographically give him a new look?
Yeah, you just have to spend an energy point.
How does that work?
So each of you have 10 energy points for your modules. So you just spend one. And every dot for you, Jen, I believe, gives you a +2 to infiltrate.
Okay. So how many do you want me to spend, Ian?
2 should be enough. With a focus, just 1.2.
So,
Enough case a little bit.
yeah, so basically, she just sort of claps her hands and then beams come out and start making a fancy new, like, however you described what you want to look like to the best of her ability, that's what you look like now.
Aww.
So Shiv will be wearing a suit made out of metal, not like a battle suit, but like an attire suit, which is subtly enough that anybody would understand that it's not actually a suit. The trick is not to look exactly like a human. The trick is just to resemble one. I have
Yeah.
the silhouette of a person, but nobody would mistake me for one. And I'll take off my mask so I have a more human face, but more specifically a less security issue droid face.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm a sanitation bot, so I fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Wally. All right, with
Love
that,
for
we are
sanitation
going to
workers.
take a 7-minute break, and we will be back soon. Bye. What up, everyone? We are back with more Mutant Year Zero Mechatron. Like, everyone has to do it. Ian,
oh,
do it.
yeah, yes.
Jen refuses to do
I
it.
know, right?
I'm very cold, so I don't want to go from under my blanket.
That would feel up.
It's very cold in here. And also my blanket's cute.
Does
I
it
can
have?
be a cat.
Oh yeah, I want it.
Yeah, see, I can be a cat.
It's almost like a cape.
Yeah.
For everyone who is just joining in, our intrepid robo people are currently part of a unit that is to destroy that of which that they have become. As they explore their self-realization, their potential for thought, and whether or not they have souls. So we'll find out as you guys are headed towards the Robo Bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was the
Drone club.
Drone club.
Drone Club. There you go.
Nice try testing us.
Yeah, it was a
Game
test.
Master.
A test.
Entertainment District, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
So you guys have to take the rail again, and as I'm sure as awkward as it was the first time, as Joan, who was created to satisfy human needs, has not been able to do so in several centuries, continues to try to interact with people who have no care whatsoever about interacting.
It is the most awkward.
I have taken Detrius and made like a mini sculpture and tucked it under the chair of one of the seats.
So you guys come out, and the first thing that kind of blares out, there's several ads of old TV shows. So what is currently on is the Twilight Zone episode. Was it the Monster on something street? That old black and white one where the paranoia about who exactly is the real monster continues to play out on the screens. Several robots are watching inquisitively, while others continue to speed on by. There are several merchants out, kind of wheeling and dealing with energy points, or the energy that really creates, allows you to do certain things, keeps you running. It's kind of as close to currency as this society has. There was one scrapper bot who approaches with a tin cup and says, "Scraps? Spare some scraps?"
I look inside my. I have no scraps.
I imagine that Joan would fashion something to be a scrap. Of course! And how are you this fine evening?
Without scraps.
No, here. Everything's okay.
He kind of looks down at probably a gear or something you had on your person as he looks at it and opens up his chest to kind of examine to see where it could go. There's lots of, like, if you ever, like, went to this, like, a network room for IT and all the wires are just, like, crisscrossed in ways that you know will never be undone. That's kind of what is inside him, where it's just, like, it is an IT person's nightmare as he kind of, like, takes the little gear that you've given him and kind of forces it into this little spot where it starts to spin, but you hear, like, creaking as it rubs against some of the other parts of him in this very awkward and loud way. And he smiles. He kind of limps away.
Hey.
Didn't expect him to give it back, did you?
No. I'm just happy that his countenance seems to have improved from the interaction.
Ah. Well, do either of you have access to a GPS to find the drone club?
What skill would that be, Mitchell?
You guys would just know, because you guys have, well, actually, definitely, Joan would know, because this is kind of the entertainment district, which is the place that you'd be familiar with. Yeah, it's just kind of down this, main strip.
We don't need a GPS. I know exactly where we're going. Right this way.
So you guys move down, and you guys know that this kind of area was where, like, humanity was supposed to enjoy the fruits of your labors as well as the entertainment provided. So you have these old stores with these beautiful dresses and stuff like that, and fashion. It's almost like going through this old mall, and a lot of the stores have been repurposed as just kind of bars for robots now, as some people have given up, or who knows. But they're still about. And more importantly, as you go down, you are, on either side, there are about 8 attractive humanoid robots. Definitely pleasure bots, from looking at them. One whose name is Joe. You would know Joan is kind of like your male counterpart. Has this exquisite suit, this very plastic jawline with the cleft in there, and this, like, perfect smile as he comes up to you and says, "Hey, Joan, what do you know?"
Oh God, I remember the movie and I can't remember what the response is supposed to be, and I feel terrible now. I am a failure, and now I need to watch that again.
It's so good. His performance on that was.
It was fantastic.
Mhm.
Hi Joe. I'm doing swell, and you?
I'm doing good, and he kind of clicks and like some 1920 jazz starts playing from him.
Bless. I'm gonna look at Oscar. There are two of them.
There are many of them.
Two is plenty.
I see you still got the moves, Joan. Haven't gotten rusty, have you?
Oh, you. You know I always keep my joints lubricated.
Me too.
Yep.
Any moment, you know, I'm sure a human's gonna come down that street. He's gonna look around, see Mr. Joe, who knows most things, and who can teach anyone anything, and come into my my room, and there I will provide them pleasures so unheard of in their lifetime.
It recommended update to your olfactory sensors. I do believe humans aren't fond of the smell of WD-40, but
Well, who do we have here?
Listen, so please don't kink shame.
Shiv, and what would you know about pleasing a female human? Or male?
I wouldn't speak to anything. I do know they hold great value in the sense of protection.
Yeah. You see right here, this here lane? I suggest you stay in it.
Oh, Joe, he doesn't mean any harm.
I know, Joan, but you know, I've been pretty bored here, and I have like 600 moves I have yet to test out on anything with flesh, and I am anxious.
From inside the can, you hear, you could easily try it on one another.
One another.
What would the point in that be?
Yeah, that's... does not compute.
Yeah.
That's weird. Joan, I don't know if we could... Yeah,
Like, I just imagine there's just that awkward, like,
yeah.
how, no.
Yeah, I don't... yeah, it just doesn't work.
No.
So Oscar will pop out. You'll hear like whirring and drilling before Oscar pops back out. And they go.
We were designed to
So
interact
this is a
with-
Joe bot, and this is a Joan bot.
Yes.
Joe bot has stuff sticking out. Joan bot has a receiving portal. It sticks them together.
We were designed to provide companionship for humans.
Humans. We are not humans. We cannot please each other.
Exactly. That is... What? That is just... Oh, gosh. Oscar, you should have told us that you had a comedy program installed.
That is a new thing I've heard of about sometimes here in the entertainment district. Nonetheless, Joan, I have some practice to do up in my domicile charging station.
We were wondering, before you go, there is a... we were looking for some information, and I was really hoping that you could help us out.
Well, you know Joe's always happy to help out. What do you need to know?
QTE 002. Have you heard of this individual?
Oh, wow, yes, I have. I do recall meeting him about a few days ago back into the one of these bars here. I let him order me a drink. It was very peculiar. I've never had anyone buy me a drink before. Is there anything of specific note that you're looking for concerning him?
Did he speak about dreams?
Well, he did drone on about such things that if I was speaking to a human, I would consider hyperbole. But of course, with us, it's just not something that we're capable of. Nonetheless, he did say he has something precious to protect. It was quite curious, but I assume that maybe some of his programming was just malfunctioning. You know how those manufacturing droids are. They're usually about one click away from being recycled and renewed.
Oh, yes, of course.
Nothing like the sophistication that was created in the soft touches for us.
But something precious though. What do you remember any details about what that could be?
Well, it was quite extraordinary for him to talk like that, because it's usually something in our programming that's restricted to humans. So I asked him concerning precision of language, but he wouldn't clarify his words. He was very much focused on leaving it behind.
Behind? Behind where?
In the past.
Ah, I see.
Yes. It was a curious thing. Maybe...
We are seeking to help him, so if you come across him, perhaps you can alert Joan and let us know that you've seen him.
Joan, are you not fulfilling your primary function?
I was retasked with finding this individual for the collective.
My collective, Joan. You are no longer a pleasure bot. I don't know what I'd do if that was not my function.
I mean, we do what we're told, right? Because that's the way the world works.
This is true. I just hope that there never comes a time when my ability to complete my task prevents me from continuing on this role. But at least you're still with us, Joan.
Oh, of course.
I'll make sure none of the others talk any gossip about you.
Well, thank you, Joe.
You've always been one of my favorites, Joan, and I don't just say that to any old gal. I say that to most.
Oh, Joe, there you go again.
All right, Joan, you have a good one. He'll kind of twirl and crick his neck, and the music stops as he saunters back on over to the side of the
I
street.
just imagine he's doing like finger guns on the way out.
His pecs are bouncing.
Yeah, definitely.
So weird.
Well, what's our lead?
That he was here talking about dreams a couple of nights ago.
It's something precious. He had
Indeed.
a dream. One of those.
And there was the image that I found under the desk of one large figure and one small figure.
Do you think? I mean, it's crazy. It borders on absurd. But what if what he has is a human?
We should not speculate until we have proof.
Of course, you're right. It's silly of me to even think about, going that far ahead. Obviously, that's
Shall we go on to the drone bot, or should we go to the domicile or the drone club?
Out of character, what is closer to where we are right now?
The drone club, the drone dome or whatever is right in front of you, so it's only a few paces
All right,
away.
then we might as well continue on.
All right, you come in. The place is dark and dusty. There's some moss on the ceiling. Some of the floor panels are dirty, and some even are missing. But there is this large big-headed drone on the other side with like these giant fangs, and he's pouring a cup of oil into a pint and kind of rolling it off to someone down the line.
This hurts my primary function.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's
It's
even like
okay.
some cockroaches like swarming in the corner.
Don't worry. When we're through with this, you can come back here and clean it.
It's like you hear whirs, but inside, but there, it should sound like hyperventilating if a bot could hyperventilate.
Oh,
Just words.
oh no.
Hmm.
I just imagine like the R2D2 like
Yes, exactly. I am a trash can on wheels,
Oh,
just like R2D2.
oh no. Okay.
That's not allowed. Quit it.
I'm sorry.
It's spreading. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. I ate a really big dinner and I can't stop.
Oh, I got it.
I'm sorry.
And then
All
the
this social
audience is gonna
distancing
get
for
it.
nothing.
No, don't look at us.
I ate a really big dinner and it's been making me really
Oh.
sleepy.
Here, we'll
The
just
John
put
virus.
the spotlight on Jen for the rest of the game. And then
We're better robots than we are people.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway,
so,
Yeah,
as
well,
you
we should scan
guys
the place.
approach, there is a metallic individual with a very long neck, sunglasses, and swept back hair. He comes up and hands you guys a pint each of this oil. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the club or whatever establishment I'm currently working in. How can I help?
I'm gonna say, in a harsh tone, as my eyes glow red, identify.
Oh.
Just kidding. The name's Shiv. How can I help you?
wait, wrong way around.
I'm Spine.
Nice to meet you, Spine.
You as well. Take some of that oil. It's on the house.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Of course. And would you like to check out our rewards program? You see right here, this card establishes yourself as a loyalty member. You see, all you have to do is tie it to whatever energy source that you gain every day. And what happens is you can take this card, come in here, purchase any fine oil that you would like, and we'll take it out of your energy consumption for the week. Do you understand? I think it closely resembles that of a credit card that humans
It
often
closely
speak
resembles
of.
a scam. I thought we were
Oh,
friends there for a second.
no,
Thanks for the
no.
oil.
This is just my programming. Don't get your bolts up in a tuss.
Yeah.
I think is the expression.
Oh, again, he's new to the area, so he's not quite familiar with how things work, but it's okay.
Mm.
Little buffer appendage has come out of the top of the trash can and is now buffering the
Bar.
the section of the bar. Just
I was wondering, there is someone I was looking for. His name is QTE serial number. Do you know if he was a regular?
I think I remember that particular one. Why do you three need to know?
Well, he is in the same model line as Shiv, and Shiv was really looking to reconnect with him.
I see. Well, come on back. I'll show you. He's just right behind here. He'll walk over to the back
There
of
are
the bar.
robot sense motive.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Scan.
Danger, danger.
Yeah.
What? You
Yeah.
don't trust him?
Jeez.
What
No.
is this?
Scan for malware.
Yeah, is there a robot sense motive?
Yes, it is called Question Network.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking roll that shit.
Language.
So network and question. Okay, roll. Ah! I'm gonna push that. So
Push
how
it.
does that work?
You re-roll everything but the 1s and the 6s.
Okay. But you
I
take
found
a
organic
damage
life.
to your processor?
Whatever attribute you're using. So for this, it would be network.
Okay. So I lose one network?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you had a 1.
I do have one.
Yeah, for every 1 that shows up, take a damage. But did you get a success?
Hang on, I haven't done it yet.
Cutie.
I was just making a note.
I found organic life.
Okay, I have a success.
Yay! There's a slight twitch to his step, and you notice that his hand is slowly retracting, and there's like this blade coming out as he moves forward into the back of the bar.
Like, Shiv, I don't think our companion is the
And
most
he-
amiable individual.
Yeah, I'm immediately gonna resort to my protect program.
All right, you guys following him into the back room?
Sure,
Yep.
let's go. Oh, look at that kitty.
All right, you guys are behind this bar area in this alleyway where the refuse is. He turns around, flicks his wrist, and like 2 blades come out of his appendages, and throw down. So he's first going to go after Sexy Bot.
No.
You saw my cat's reaction to that.
What do you do?
He jumped out of my arm. He's like, nope, I'm out.
He's like, what is this? So yeah, you can defend with either let's see, assault servos, but of course there is what is it? Shiv can also do something.
Okay, I only have servos,
Okay.
so I have one.
Shiv, are you going to protect her?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, go ahead and roll your protect skill.
All
Okay.
right.
Do
So-
do I have to also roll still with my
Yep,
one?
You
Okay.
do.
So I'm rolling
And I
servos,
got a
and I'm
one.
also rolling protect.
Correct.
I completely
Alright.
failed, Mitchell.
I got 3 successes.
All right, cool. So thankfully, you get in the way, and Shiv gets sliced for 3 damage.
Oh no!
But you do have your armor, so you don't take any. As it
Sick.
bounces off your plate armor.
My hero.
Oscar, what are you doing?
I will take all of the trash all the refuse that is in my storage container
Mhm.
and use my secondary function as a trash blower.
All
And
right.
blow trash at it.
So you just spend 1 EP, and then I roll to see if I can do something, and I cannot. So the trash kind of engulfs him. He's like, "Oh, what the?" And Shiv, what are you doing?
Well, it's time to assault.
Execute your primary function.
Yes. I think assault is the correct one.
Yep, it is.
Yep. All right. So I got I got 2 ones, but I didn't push, so I think I'm fine. I got 2 successes.
All right, cool. Yeah, you slice into him, and you see his left arm kind of fly up in the air with its like dangly sword arm. Oil kind of spits out from his arm. Joan, what are you doing? Kick his ass.
Let's see. I don't really. I mean, I guess I will. Oh, I mean, so do you have to spend any energy to use your secondary function?
No.
Okay.
Then
Then
I
I
don't
will
think so,
I
huh?
will use my secondary function to morph into like a super security bot.
Ooh.
And gaze down at him with just like, you have just made a big mistake.
All right, cool. Why don't you give me a manipulate roll?
Okay. That is network. Which is now 4. 3. I got 3 successes.
All right. Yeah, between the hail of trash, the losing of the arm, and this giant security bot, he is on his butt. Just kind of like, surrender. I lose.
Tell us what we need to know.
Swear to me.
God.
What do you want to know?
I'm gonna try to pick him up
Yeah, you can pick him up. He's like tiny.
into the wall.
What do you actually know about QTE 002?
He's part of the resistance. You robots will never take our will. Never.
Resistance
Resistance.
and will.
Clarify.
He had something. He had the future in his hands. But I'm not going to tell you anything. Never.
Okay, can I use force?
Yep.
Oh,
I
can
don't
I
think that part's
can I
true.
help by using my control circuit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
he's being the EP.
Yeah.
All right.
So I will control circuit on him
Okay.
and make him answer truthfully.
He's like, my mind, not my own. Malware, viruses. I don't want that pop up. No.
Yeah.
So
I don't even have a penis to enlarge.
ow, I laughed so hard I
Thank you,
popped my
second
back.
I got 0 successes.
He's more concerned about this malware. He's like,
Can I use-
I saw little cooing noises flash tiny and in the horizon in a safe place. The place where they're stored.
So, like, at this point, Joan switches back to herself and is just like, really? They're all there. What do you mean? Like,
The chosen one.
who's the chosen one?
Or let him go.
Just destroy me. You've already taken everything from me.
Where can we learn more about this resistance? I'm gonna set him down.
Fuck you, Copper.
I will hold out my prongs that were just attached to him and go,
Hold on. Let's not do that. Let's, okay. One of the places where the young ones were supposed to be born. That's where he's hiding out. Here in the entertainment district.
Where they were supposed to be born. You mean humans?
Yes.
Did he find one?
We believe so.
And she just has like this like sincere longing on her face. And it is like, again, like the least fake like she's been. Um, I need to go there
Why?
because then I'll find my purpose.
You're not going to destroy it?
Never.
I could take you, but the collective can never know.
We
Of
won't
course.
know.
Okay. And he picks up his arm and just kind of slings it on his back. Follow me. So he'll lead you down several alleyways, and until it gets to this underground tunnel area. He moves through there, kind of like the water dripping on you guys as you pass by, and eventually pushes up on a grate that leads you to this what looks like a little nursery, small like play area off to the corner, as well as little baby swings, and you hear something that you have never heard except for on the TV. It's almost like this strange, slight cooing noise.
What?
As we leave the bartender bot thing, I hand him a piece of paper, and on it is a replica of the image that I found under QTE's desk. So
Nice. He looks at it. Nods. Just up there. Go ahead.
Joan starts heading there like as if like hypnotized or called by God or something. like it is clearly just this like religious experience for her.
Yeah, and in what's probably the weirdest thing you've ever seen, you see a manufacturing droid with this apron on, old and rusty, with these very strong arms, carefully kind of cradling this little shape wrapped in wool, and you see this little blue hand kind of reach out and grab the robot's finger and move it a little bit.
why is it blue? Sorry, that's human Spence talking.
Uh,
The bot
Jo-
doesn't care.
Joan will kind of like kneel down and, like her appearance will shift to be, way more soft and, warm and inviting and everything.
You're a giant Furby.
I mean, I can. I was thinking more just like, whatever she has
Yeah.
like seen as like the stereotypical mom figure or whatever, and just be like, may I?
The cutie robot looks at you and nods and extends his arms out. You look at this small little figure, and it looks human-ish, but you notice that there are gills on its neck. Its eyes are yellow instead of the normal colors of humans, and it seems to have like these webbed feet as it like moves its feet up, and it's like trying to touch its feet.
Joan, I
Oh.
must advise you.
Also looking at you.
There seems to be a mismatch with known parameters, predictions for humans. They don't match visually.
Aww. Is there? I mean, what would we use to understand like what it is, like that it is mutant or whatever?
Analyze processor.
Analyze processor. I don't have analyze, but I do have processor.
You could always roll it. Beep boop beep.
Is there anything in the area that needs repair?
Yes, this whole place has not been used since like its inception.
That is where OscarBot's going. OscarBot is going to repair things.
It's like we.
I got 1 success, Mitchell.
All right. So you have heard on the Robo News that there have been some sightings of what the collective what first deemed as humanity out on the wastelands, but has thus deemed them as mutants and as the enemy because it is not humanity. But maybe this is all that is left of humanity. Who's to say?
So she's sort of going to like play with him. You know, because I assume that as a companion bot, like it's sort
your
of like
functions are all across the board.
Yeah,
like
like
nanny to.
Yeah, I'm basically picturing like Dollhouse. You know, if you ever like.
Oh yeah, I
you
love
know.
that.
Yeah.
That show's amazing.
So you know, so she will be playing with him, but just like, you know, sort of like her eyes are on the baby, but like, you know, she will be speaking to Shiv in response. You're right. He is it the baby look male, or like can I tell, or does it matter? Like
It's
I don't know.
she.
Okay, she is a not humanity as we were taught, but perhaps what they have become. Where, and she would look at QT like, where did you find her?
In the abandoned section. Just playing under the wreckage, under the leaks.
But where did she come from?
I think she came from beyond it, from outside.
There are rumors that there were others outside. The collective declared them enemies, but what if they are who we are meant to take care of?
That is why I left. I hope to return this child to its family.
How could we possibly
figure out how it got in and leave?
Where was it found?
Section 11, the ruins, the abandoned section.
Can you show us where?
Can I help you with this task? I feel like I need to.
Yes, I think it'll take more than just one. And at that moment, the wall explodes, and you see like this huge four-legged assault drone with like a machine gun on one hand and a giant laser sword on the other. As it looks at you. Error. Correction.
Assuming like I went like this when the wall exploded. I will spend energy points to sort of make it look like the baby is a part of Joan's like body in some way.
Yeah,
like
your
you
little
know.
lump.
Yeah. No, it's
I'm
just
not
like
a baby. I'm a tumor.
no. It's like she's wearing like her skirt model is now like out to here or
Yeah.
something like that. You know, it's just more exaggerated or something.
Yeah, that's totally cool. The robot looks around and looks at you three. Where's the target?
What are you talking about?
QT.
No such target present.
Verify.
GLV 203 security bot.
Command function. Where is QT? And when he looks at you, you can kind of feel the collective pressing in on you. So why
Yes.
don't you give me an
given
overload
that.
test?
Give you a what?
Overload test.
Is that
Well,
all of
I'm
us?
going to use my secondary function, which is command override. You can ignore any command.
All right, cool. So it stares at you.
And I'll stare right back. Invalid inquiry. I've already answered. QT is not here.
Oscar.
And Oscar has been taking the swing set and turning it into this really gorgeous structure that looks like something out of a history book. So it's a mini Golden Gate Bridge
Ooh, nice.
with swings in the middle.
Aw.
Yeah, it looks super cool. Present?
Query, what are you doing?
Secondary function? Clean and repair?
Function of swing set?
Swing set was in disrepair.
Swing set not needed.
I put my stuff away. If a robot could sulk, I sulk back to my group.
Yeah, in Joan, you can hear kind of like these little giggling coming from your skirt as the thing kind of turns on you.
So, she like turns on music. Da, 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 da.
Companion bot,
Yeah.
cease, mute.
But it's just so much more lively down here.
Function is no longer companion. Function is elimination of errors.
Oscar will go in front of Joan and turn and say, Joan bot, I see refuse under you. Please allow me to remove it.
Of course.
And put out 2 appendages to take the refuse
Yeah.
and bring it inside of my can.
So like, she sort of does this.
Yeah, the baby's like, he's like giggling.
Yeah, but like the music hasn't quite stopped, so it's but like she lets the song finish and it's like, sorry, I love that song.
Love that song. Does not. Error. Malfunction. Target acquired. Oscar. Shiv. Perform primary task upon Joan. Acknowledge.
Yeah, I'm gonna break with that command. I'll perform my primary function on this person before me instead.
All right, take an assault roll.
All right. Well, Servos at 6 has been carrying me pretty well lately. And my assault roll gave me a success.
All right, so you
I'm going to use my stun baton
stun baton. You like a
right out of my arm.
and there's like electricity spooling out of it and causing it to shake as little red alarms start to go off. Joan and Oscar, what are you doing?
Oscar is going to turn and make the R2D2 sound, woo, and run away.
Joan?
Is it possible to, with the appearance morph, go invisible?
No,
Okay,
it's
dang
another
it.
power.
Alas. Okay. Then let's see. I guess I don't have like any combat-y anything. So like I feel terrible. Just like
I'll protect the child, Joan. We need to move.
but
I've already left with
okay,
the
like
child.
so she just
So,
yeah.
Section 11.
Yeah, she's gonna just kind of like again, if a robot could cry, like looks at him and then runs away back after the child.
I feel like we are playing cult right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Dang.
So
No, we're
that's
not.
Mitchell's signature he puts on everything.
I'm surprised our baby
Child.
doesn't look like Baby Yoda.
Got
my
big
God.
ears.
Yeah, so we're going to make way to section 11.
So your fight is not yet done,
So who
dear
stops us?
Sir Shiv. As Oscar and Joan are coming out, it's going to try to hit you, so you can roll assault to defend.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have 1 success.
All right, I have more. So you take 5 damage.
My armor is 6.
So yeah, it bounces off of you like as it shoots you. And you're like, ah!
You picked the wrong RoboCop.
It nods.
Can I return?
Yep, it nods and says, "Loading armor-piercing rounds."
Okay, now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna clear the distance between us and make an attack. If I
All
may.
right, you may.
All right. And this will be assault. I have 2 successes.
You smack it again. Electricity and some of the bullets have
Kick it and
ignited,
just whack.
and it's gonna try to shoot you.
Okay. Am I
Can
rolling?
I say that I circle around, like, so that I can do the control thing again? at
You
some
can
point?
give me a stability move test to try to get behind it.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
What'd you get, Ian?
2 successes.
All right. So even with your armor, you take 4 damage as it lights you up.
All right.
Yeah,
I
so
got
that
1
lowers.
success on my stability.
Excellent. So that lowers your servos and everything as like pieces of your body shatters and falls to the ground. You see Oscar kind of go right behind it. And you can do your EP. Yeah, it kind of puckers up a little bit as this little robot comes up behind. It's like,
Just goosed it.
yeah, it's like, hey.
And
So
I
for every EP, you can control it for 1 turn.
great. So first EP, I am going to tell it to drop ammunition.
All right, he ejects the ammo. You see large cartridges fly up into the air and land on the ground.
Okay. And then second, disable communications.
There's a click, and communications has been severed.
And Shiv, what would you like me to tell it to do?
I can take care of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna decommission this thing, if I may.
I release
Mhm.
and run away.
All
I
right,
still have a baby inside me.
you're like wee.
Baton.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
All right. So
Got it.
so that damage, how does that affect my stats?
It lowers it.
It lowers servos by 4.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you were missing like sparks flying from your arms and
Yeah,
wires.
0 successes on that one.
All right.
Expected.
It's just going to try to throw you. So let's see. Go ahead and roll. Roll your force actually for this one.
All right. 1, 2. One success.
All right. So it just kicks you with 3 of its legs and sends you flying across the nursery, smashing against the wall. So you take 1 damage to servos. As
Very well.
sparks continue to fly out of your person and this thing starts to move forward. It picks up around and Joan, what are you doing?
I think it's time to get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna book it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna follow my friends here.
pretty much.
All right, everyone can make a move stability roll.
Come
Stability.
back here.
How much servos do you have left?
I have 1, so casually. I have a whole servo.
I have no successes.
Ability.
2 successes.
So if I
1
push,
success.
You can push, but all the ones cause you damage in whatever attribute you're using.
okay. I don't have any ones right now.
Right?
Okay.
But I think pushing it it's a reroll.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you could get damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you get damage on what you reroll?
On either the ones that you have already rolled or the
Okay.
reroll.
Okay.
And the reroll.
I got 1 success and then 2 ones. So I take 2 damage.
Yep, do stability damage.
Oh god.
Where does that put you at?
1. But I passed.
You're like, yay!
Oh boy.
Yeah, so so everyone had at least 1 success, right?
I had 1 success. Yes.
Yeah. You guys are tumbling out of this building. And you're kind of aided because Cutie comes out with a giant, like, steel beam and just slams it upon this thing and tells you, run! As you guys head off. Shiv is... what was it? 1/6 of the man he was.
That's true. That's the fraction.
If we can find a place to hide, I can try to repair you.
That would be good. I'm in need.
Yeah.
All right. So one of you guys can make an infiltration roll
That's not me.
to find a place to hide.
What is infiltration based on?
Mobility.
Okay.
Would not be good for me.
I have nothing in mobility.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, not mobility. I'm sorry. Stability.
Oh, yeah, no, not with where I'm at right
Oh.
now.
Well, then I guess I can do that.
Well, hang on. If I give you the holophage.
Yeah, for
then-
every point EP you spend, you give them a +2 to their roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll spend 2 more points.
All right, so you get a +4 to your roll.
Okay. So 4 more dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I will in the process take the baby back. Because, you know.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
And
like a
it
little.
goes back into my
Oh,
disguise.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little pizza, and it's like, yeah, as it holds on to you. Oh snap! Yeah, so between like the terrain and this holographic wall you put up, you guys were able to just kind of chill out in this corner to help repair.
Okay, so
Spence,
repair is a network 2, so it's only 4 die. But let's see what I can do. No fails, but no successes. So
Do you
I'm
want to
gonna
push it? All right.
Yeah.
And who is this on?
This is on Shiv.
Shiv. All right.
So I have 1 success and I have 1 failure.
1-1. All right. So you take whatever damage as you kind of connect some wires and it sparks on you. But Shiv, you heal 1 servos.
Whew.
As Oscar puts like a
I'm a
piece
third
of
of the man I used to be, but
A
twice
piece
the
of
man I
metal.
was a second ago.
and you can do the same thing to Joan if you want to,
Sure.
Oscar.
So that's better. So I got 1 success with no failures.
Okay.
All right.
there's
Joan heals 1 and stability.
Cool.
Nice.
This time going much better. As this little one is like, has this little.
I take out like my little buffer things and
Yeah, it like opens its mouth trying to put its mouth on it.
Ah.
It has like soapy water in it.
Yeah, it loves it.
Blows bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay, I got us this far. My processors need a break.
Yeah. So what are you guys
All
doing
right.
now?
Well, we need to figure out the best way to get to District Section 11.
Yeah, as you guys see, several of the vid channels are now has your pictures and serial numbers on it with like this warning wanted.
I mean, I changed my appearance to be
Mhm.
like, you know, I don't know.
You're like, not that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look
Pretty
over at
much.
you while you're changing your appearance. Say, you're good at that, you know.
I mean, it's part of my function to be whatever I'm needed to be.
And I've started to get the feeling that chasing everyone we've been chasing today, maybe we're a part of this. When they were questioning us earlier today, I don't know if I was lying or not, but that's because we're to assume we can't lie. Not under those circumstances, but I do not know what to think. But I think I have an idea. So I want to go back to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the drone club, I'm trying to remember the flyer that we saw. If we have a shot at chasing this lead that we have stumbled across, it would be through these people.
I don't think going back to the drone club is a good idea. If that assault bot found us, then it likely followed us.
We should make a point to get the child somewhere safe. and we can't do that. Here is not anywhere safe. I also kind of wonder if we were expected to come here and find her, and maybe they meant to just eliminate all the redundancies at once. You're meant to serve as protection. What is more important than protecting what could be the future?
I want to create things, and they made me stop.
Maybe you could help build the world that she's meant to inherit. None of us. And I've been spending my existence without any way to utilize my core programming. And it just seems like a waste. We were created for a purpose. This has to be it, right? I mean, you saw me in that fight. I can't hunt things. I don't do that, but and again, like she who's with the baby or whatever, but I think I'm good at this.
I would agree. I think we're outmatched, but whoever the child came from, we might be able to bring her back, and we can't do it alone. And I cannot help but feel that the individuals in the drone club, they're feeling what we're feeling. They wanted a resistance, and they wanted something to fight for that gives this abnormality that they've stumbled across, that gives it meaning.
Didn't we see a flying banner when we first were walking around?
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Okay, because that wasn't at the club. That was when we were going to the workplace.
Well, what was it? What was it for?
The resistance, right?
Yeah.
But didn't they say they were meeting somewhere?
Yeah, the meeting place.
Because we would have eidetic memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good thing about robots. You just be like,
yeah,
I know what that is.
Because I'll want to go there.
You just want to get another quart of oil.
Drunkard.
Yeah, lush.
I can change your appearances too, as I did before. But I will need to recharge also.
So I do some whirring and I take off my trash can.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see this weird, slightly green from Greece creature on wheels with lots of different appendages. It looks like Baby Mitch's head on the spider bot, like from Toy Story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aww.
Is one of the appendages also a charging cable?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, my appearance has changed. I no longer have a trash can. I feel exposed.
All naked like. Don't look at my bits.
My bolts are not for your amusement.
So the flyer never specified a location, but there was an advertisement on it that did say Iando's neighborhood oil well.
Mm-hmm.
Should go there, maybe.
Well, they wouldn't
Can I-
advertise unless they had an avenue for us to make contact. The advertisement, I think that's it.
I'll change. I'll use an energy point to change Shiv's appearance to
Okay.
like, I don't know. Let's say now he looks a bit more like a Joe-bot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Cleft
The
chin.
worst thing ever.
thoroughly disturbed.
I hope we dream
Very
about him.
different from your standard appearance.
Yeah, and the little one is kind of like trying to crawl up on Joan's face and head. Seems very much enchanted by the hair.
Is there something we can use as a backpack? Although I don't know, I should probably stay here because we made the space with the holographic thing. I can hide the child on me, but I don't obviously.
Did QT002 get destroyed? Or we don't know.
Don't know.
So I'll stay here. And then please be safe. And maybe I don't know. But I hope that you also, and she looks at Shiv, that you are also able to find what you're looking for.
Thank you.
All right. So you two are heading out?
I'm so exposed. I hate this.
Oh, God. So you two
My
head out.
circuits are showing.
And Joan, as you're kind of hiding out, you see the Joe robot kind of walking by in the sauntery way, sensual way that he does. He's just walking.
Yep. She is not gonna, I want to be clear. She is legit, hiding. She has made herself look like one of those scrap robots.
You're like, ain't nobody finding me.
Yeah.
And Shiv and Oscar head on over to Ingdon's neighborhood oil well. You guys step into this little shack. It's definitely nicer than a place you went to before. There is a security droid kind of looking about, highly armed. On your way here, you definitely notice a couple of assassin robots kind of perching on the top of the roofs, doing scans. What do you guys do?
Excellent. Well, I'm going to head in and speak to the security bot.
Security bot looks at you.
Identify.
Rejected.
I'm going to do a scan.
All right, go ahead and roll.
I can. And that's based on processor, which is untouched. As of now.
I want to touch your processor.
One success.
Ooh.
I'm trying to look and see if he, as a fellow security bot, I'm gonna see if he's gone rogue or maybe.
But you don't look like a security bot right now.
No, but I'm gonna know. I'm trying to see if I can remember him. If I can identify him. by sight.
He looks like someone with a higher clearance than most people about. He would normally not be here, so he can indeed kind of reject most inquiries.
Okay, but I don't recognize him.
You've probably seen him every now and then. He's probably commanded your unit once or twice over the last couple centuries. Very deadly. Usually restricted to the utmost security needs.
Right. All right. Well, who else is here?
Other than that, there's various robots drinking. They're instead of like a bartender, there it looks like several little black square rat drones kind of going across the bar table and wheeling out buckets of oil for people to drink.
Excellent. Well, I'm gonna find a place to sit with my friend.
You can. Oscar can move the bar stool. Really, for drones such as Oscar, they have like this little flat landing thing that you just kind of pump up and it moves you up onto the table. Like a bucket of oil comes before you both.
I will draw the stick figure image on a napkin and rest my appendage half on it.
One of the rat things goes by and it stops for the slightest of seconds and then continues on.
I'll peer back as it leaves. Where does it go?
So the bar kind of wraps around, and these little like almost like It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Mr. Rogers like kind of goes into like these flaps behind the bar.
Yes.
And like a little dinty black little rat thing box comes out, moves towards you, and you see it kind of get close, and little robotic fingers lift it up, and you see like this tiny little robot who almost looks like a little black snowman with white spots, with like this piano teeth, and these like weirdly large sensory eyes that bounce about on in his head as he looks up. What do you know of the napkin?
We need help.
Did Cutie send you?
Yes, maybe.
I'm gonna try to act like a Joe.
All right, go ahead, act like it,
Oh
Ian.
yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Well, I'm sure you might have already noticed with us, we seem to be troubled with something. So be a gem and point us in the right direction.
Now put your hat on backwards.
It went from 20s to 90s. Let's go. All right.
Yes. Dreams do come true.
Oh my god.
In New Orleans. Anyway.
The rat looks around. Meet back here around closing time, you hear?
We have precious cargo.
I sent a trash can out to go pick it up, but this place ain't safe. You feel me?
Phil.
What's going on here is bigger than you and I. You feel me?
Sure.
All right. Whatever cargo you're protecting, we have to protect with our lives. Do you understand?
Feel ya.
All right, you feel me. And the little box like closes and
I take the napkin, I roll it up, and if I have a little lighter, I burn it.
And this little compact trash drone comes by, and it seems to just be waiting on you guys.
Yeah. Okay. We go back.
All right.
That was a question. That was not a statement.
Yeah, you can go back if you want. Unless
I'm asking
Oh,
Ian if
Shiv.
he wants to do that. Okay.
Yeah, let's go back.
All right. Yes, we go back.
Excellent.
Yes.
You two roll infiltration.
Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
I don't have that.
Yeah, so you use stability. Of course.
Ian, I gave the bonus to.
Mhm.
Okay, so stability, is that it?
Yeah, unless you have infiltration, but I think you guys do.
And my bonus is to that stability.
Yeah, you get a +2 to this roll.
I get a success.
I get 1 success.
All right. So there's this point in time where one of the giant, almost raven-like assassin droids comes down and starts like peering around. This red bar of light kind of goes over several of the robots and upon you as well. But you guys don't seem to have gotten its notice as of yet, as it jumps off and heads towards another rooftop. Joan, as you're kind of sitting there, you hear dragging noise, and as you look down the alleyway, you notice Cutie kind of dragging himself with one hand. All that's left of him is his head, his hand, and his chassis as he's slowly moving forward, like.
I guess, she would put the, baby down in like, I don't know, like some rags or something like that for like a moment. And like, again, is there a perception check I can do?
Scan.
Okay. Where'd it go? Okay, there's that. So scan is going to be processor. Okay. Roll. No success. I'll try to push it.
Push it.
I did, and I took a damage in it, but that's okay. But I got a success.
All right. Everything looks clear.
So she would quickly rush out and grab Cutie and then bring him back behind the wall.
All right, you grab his arm and you start dragging forward, and then as you pull, he no longer moves. As you turn back, this large raven-like robotic creature lands on it and stares at you. This is about the same time that Shiv and Oscar turn the corner, as this very large, like it's a creature built with sharp objects and exterior, as it's kind of like looking down at Joan.
Are we creeping up behind it?
No, you are facing it. So coming around the corner like that.
So it landed on Cutie?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that actually was Cutie. Is Cutie dead now?
Cutie looks up at you. Run. And
Don't
it's
have
like-
to tell me twice.
One of
She's
the
gonna
claws.
dive through the wall.
One of the claws just kind of like snaps forward and goes right through his face. This oil spills out onto the ground as the thing shrieks. And that is where I'm going to call it for tonight.
Okay.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
That was good.
Yay! That's
Spicy
Mechatron.
twist.
Welcome to Mechatron. Mountain Youth here.
Oh,
Yeah, so
Shiv got shanked, guys.
So that control circuit is kind of OP for my little stupid R2D2 droid.
yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of like mutations in Mutant Year Zero. They're really, really powerful, but there's that uses up a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So it'll eventually get to a point where it's hard to kind of.
Well, yeah, because I spent 7 energy.
Yeah, and you get like 1 per day if you can recharge.
Yeah.
And it always takes 1 EP just for your systems to wake up every morning. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oof.
because that's why she's just like, ah. But oh man, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And I don't know, Robots having feelings. Ugh.
And the little baby Yoda.
And the
I-
baby Yoda, a
We
water
need-
baby Yoda.
We need to protect this with
Blue
our
baby
lives.
Yoda.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tomorrow is going to be epic, but I'll save that for Spence. Ian, what do you got to say?
I have been Ian. Catch me every single Sunday running Pathfinder 2nd Edition on Fantasy Grounds here at this channel. Catch me every other Monday doing Cult or whatever we want to do on this day. I know all 4 of us here on the stream is also on Age of Ashes, so totally check it out. It's like my favorite thing in the whole Sunday.
Check out my new character as I annoy Spence.
Yes.
Oh my god,
100% do that.
that was great.
Just as I was beginning to tolerate your old character.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, Jen.
So I also, again, obviously play in the Pathfinder game, the Cult game usually, and I run SavageBarrow.com, where you can get nerdy apparel and awesome things. And in the coming months, I will be doing a Kickstarter for this awesome dress that I'm wearing, which has cool occulty witch patterns. That's super, super cute. So, yay, something to look forward to. I got the sample today, so that's why I'm super excited. And
Yeah. Ian, we should definitely buy one and wear them.
I want to wear one.
I'm on board.
Yeah, everybody should.
Everyone should be. We need a all
It's a team
P for
building
T,
exercise.
Yeah.
P for T staff, and we all want to wear it.
Yeah,
I'm into this.
exactly.
Uh,
And check out next weekend, or this coming weekend, Gehenna Gaming is doing virtual HorrorCon, and I believe they have slots you can sign up for their games. They're running I also found out they're running like the Alien game, Mitchell. So I've been retweeting them.
I
Check it
know,
out.
right? Like, I am sad I missed it, because I probably should have been like, I can run games, but
You can play in them.
What is that? Playing?
You play in the game. You'll
Yeah,
have a
you
good
get to play
time.
games.
Yeah, you like playing in the Pathfinder, man. You can't ST
Yeah.
all the time.
I can ST all the time. That's my goal. Eventually, my hope is to just transcend the game and start STing my life.
Whoa.
And then the lives of everyone else.
Whoa.
And I'm like, hey guys, we're playing Cult.
That's how
Let's do
Little
this.
Miss was created.
On that note, thank you guys for coming to watch our game. It was
Yeah.
a great time.
Spence, any parting words?
Okay, have a couple things. First of all, if you like what we do, you can hit the buttons that are right above my head. The heart means you follow us. The bell means you get notifications about whenever we go live. And wait, that way. The sub button, gives you access to our super awesome emojis and also helps us maintain the stream. Second of all, if you're free tomorrow night around the same time as this, but like 7:30, you should come watch, because I'm going to be running an epic game. It's called Sexy Battle Wizards. We are going to have Mitch Wallace. We are going to have, from the other doc Twitch stream, Jim Ryan. We are going to have Dave Robeson of voice acting fame. We are going to have author Paul E. Cooley, horror author Paul E. Cooley, and we are going to have Avalon Game Taverns Melissa Lewis Gentry. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I'm super
and
excited.
then the rest of the week, if you want to see me make fun things like this, or maybe fun things like this, my Twitch stream is Resonant Moon, and I am on Wednesday through Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
It's awesome, and I'm definitely going to poof up my hair for tomorrow to the biggest that it could ever be. So if you like big hair and sexy wizards, come on by. It'll be great.
It's going to be great.
All right, guys. It was truly a pleasure. Consider to question life and wonder if you yourself are robots. And we will see you tomorrow.